So for my informative speech topic, I'm going to be talking about the death penalty and why it should be abolished. My purpose is to inform my audience about the death penalty and why it should be abolished. The idea is that many individuals who are wrongly accused are sentenced with death penalty. So when you think about the death penalty, what comes to mind? What do you think about it being abolished or not being abolished, and what is your opinion on it? For me, the amount of individuals who have been wrongfully accused of crimes they did not commit, and in result they get sentenced to death. I also think about the amount of money that goes into death sentencings, but I also think about the amount of money they use toward death sentencing. I also think about, whether or not any other factors have to do with death sentencing. But I recently watched a documentary on Netflix about the Central Park 5 case, and basically it was about 5 guys who were telling this story about how they were wrongfully accused of something that they did not partake in that happened in Central Park. A woman who had gotten raped in Central Park, and they accused 5 males, and at the time they were young, of committing this crime. So I think by watching this case, it made me realize about how in-depth it was, and how there are probably so many similar cases such as this, so many individuals who go through similar situations that their stories haven't had the chance to get out there. Their truth has not been told. They don't have the platform, and individuals just go through this every day. The rate is increasing, and without justice for these individuals, the system will remain to prosecute and sentence individuals who are wrongfully accused of crimes that they did not commit. And I feel as though that the system doesn't take it serious enough, because at the end of the day, that's somebody's life that is in their hands, and I feel as though death penalty should not exist due to the fact that you never know whose life you're taking. Factors that support my belief in abolishing the death penalty include just the amount of wrongfully committed individuals sentenced, and what comes with that is race, gender, the crimes they commit, who's looking more at death sentencing than the other person, and then the amount of money that goes into it, just the thought process of it. So first, I would like to talk about who is likely to be death sentenced, the amount of individuals who are death sentenced, and just the just research that I have found, statistics that I have found, numbers that have shown the amount of individuals that have experienced the death penalty. So according to Amnesty International, 142 countries have abolished the death penalty. Recently, that includes Guatemala and Mongolia and one other country. According to Jeremy Engel, in 2018, the U.S. executed 25 individuals, and 2,700 of them remained on death row. According to DPIC, which is the Death Penalty Information Center, 165 individuals, more than 165 individuals in 1973 have been wrongly 165 individuals have been wrongfully convicted and sentenced to death in the US, and they have been exonerated. 87% of those individuals were in fact black. 62% of them were white, and 15% of them were Latino, and 3% of them remained in another race. In addition, over the years, it seems as if the highest death penalty rate resulted in the years between 1990 through 2010. According to Amnesty International, in 2019, most known executions took place in China, Saudi, Iran, Egypt, Arabia, and Iraq. Amnesty recorded 657 executions in 20 countries in 2018 and in 2019. Also, there's 2,307 death sentences in 56 countries in 2019, and at least 26,604 individuals were under sentence of death globally in 2019. Clear to see that these states are spending more money proceeding through death sentences than in addition, following the statistics, it's clear to see that these states who are executing and establishing the capital punishment are spending more money doing so and killing individuals. With that being said, that brings me to the amount of money that is being spent establishing that type of punishment and having the death penalty exist. According to Engel in 2011, one study found that California pays $184 million a year to sustain capital punishment, accumulated to $5 billion since the practice was reinstituted in 1978. For me, the amount of money used to execute these prisoners and these individuals, and being that an amount of these prisoners and individuals are sometimes likely to be innocent, I feel as though that money could be used towards something else that is more useful and more effective. In the conclusion, I feel as though the death penalty should be abolished due to the amount of individuals that are innocent and that are convicted wrongfully, and also the amount of money spent initiating death penalties and executing prisoners, and also how hypocritical the system really is. According to Tim Arango, quote unquote, he says, "I know people think for eye, but if you rape, we don't rape," he said, "and I think if someone kills, we don't kill. We're better than that." So I feel like if the system is killing individuals due to those individuals killing others, wouldn't that be the same, and the cycle would be repeated and the crime would be committed twice? So individuals and the system should look at these cases more closer, and they should look into the death penalty. They should look deeper into the law. I feel as though individuals should look closer into the death penalty and observe it, and I feel as though the death penalty should be taken more serious and it should be followed cautiously, because lives are being jeopardized, and the truth of these individuals and the justice for these individuals aren't being it's not being served and it's not being fulfilled. Overall, for my speech, I feel as though overall I hope the audience realizes that the death penalty is serious. The death penalty is very serious, and that it's important to question whether or not these prisoners should receive the death penalty and if they should be executed, because at the end of the day, that's somebody's life at hands, and it's a human being who has loved ones, who has a family, who have people that care about them, and death is not something that should be taken lightly. So I hope you research more, and I hope everyone researches more and figures out if the death penalty should be abolished or not.